Εξομολογήστε τον Κύριο διαγρατός, αλληλούια, ότι στον αιώνα το έλεος αυτού, αλληλούια.
Also, yeah, so there's even Aramaic, there's no Aramaic as well. There's no Aramaic. Because I learned that we don't have like we don't know the Syriac anymore. The Aramaic or not Syriac.
But they're very similar. Yeah. Syriac,
But
Aramaic,
for example, if
Hebrew.
we have like manuscript, Aramaic or Syriac, we can understand it today.
Really?
We don't have an issue with that. So it's not like an ambiguous answer. You don't want to say.
Sorry, you said Syriac. Is this Bible manuscripts or is this about?
Just about the language, Syriac language.
Oh, okay. In the context of like Christianity or anything?
Yeah, we were talking about the Bible, Syriac Bible.
Oh, cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm just interested in what that's about.
I mean,
Because I'm a Christian, so.
Oh, okay. So we were talking about the latest known, or the Bible that exists nowadays.
Manuscripts.
Yeah, latest manuscript.
Nice.
Yeah, so the latest one that Christian have, like they 500 years after Jesus. Yeah, that's what we.
So I think, like, for me, the way that we can establish what doctrine would have been around at the time of Jesus is actually through the church fathers.
Yeah.
Because what we can do is we can have like a chain that goes from Jesus to John, and like because John was one of the witnesses to Jesus, and then through him, we have those disciples, and they wrote about Jesus, and they wrote what they believed, and we have those writings.
So you're basically saying from we know, so just same way we know like Jesus exists, we know that previous Bible exists, but we don't know their content.
What I'm saying is we can find out what their beliefs were through their writings of the companions.
Like the Peshitta Bible, we know that there's some saying that this Peshitta Bible existed, but we can't say what's its content.
This Aramaic is a translation, isn't it? It's not. What's it a translation?
Yeah, they say
from?
that it's a Syriac Peshitta Bible that existed. But
but sorry, is it a translation of an earlier Bible, like a Greek or a Hebrew Bible?
I mean, it doesn't exist today nowadays. There's no physical.
I see.
Yeah, it just
because the original Hebrew Bible is obviously in Hebrew. It's not in Aramaic, apart from the bits of Daniel. And the New Testament is in Greek, not in Aramaic. So it doesn't exist today. Okay. So this is
exactly. Yeah.
But the original Moses didn't speak Aramaic.
Of course.
So and Jesus did, but we don't have his words. We only have the Greek translation much later.
Yeah, but translations can accurately describe someone's words, so translation is fine. So in the same sense that if the writings of the Bible were in Greek, say for the New Testament, we will be able to know from those who were closest to the actual like apostles. We can know from their writings specifically what they thought that Bible was, right? Because they're writing in the same language as well.
But it won't be accurate. There's speculation and there's some saying, since we don't have the original one.
Well, we don't have the original of
Bible.
anything. You
Exactly.
probably really
That's what
shouldn't
I'm saying.
expect
The
the
Bible
original.
is a library
anything.
of books written by many different people over
Exactly.
1,000 years. So we don't have any original manuscripts of anything in the Bible at all. We have nothing.
Yeah, and the same for the Quran.
And some of the
None of the religious scriptures.
We do have manuscripts that go back to the time of the prophets.
No, they predate him. They also predate the Uthmanic period, which means that they're not possible to have been written
We
from
have
that
from
period.
University of Birmingham, as mentioned, Professor Thomas, who I interviewed, said his view. He's the head of department at University of Birmingham. It's actually a Christian, actually, just like you. He said in his expert opinion that the Quran in Birmingham comes from the time of the prophet. He said not predates, but from the time of the prophet. But coming back to the Bible, we don't have we have a massive gap for many centuries from the events that they described and the alleged authors and the manuscripts. Many centuries. Gap.
We don't know who the authors are for the Quran.
So we don't.
just
So we don't know if it's reliable. In fact, because of the documentary hypothesis, which scholars have developed in the last 100 years with the Pentateuch, the Torah, we know that actually it's much later than Moses. Well, some of it may go back to Moses, but we know it's not actually it's not historically from the time of Moses at all.
Well, the Quran specifically, it says that actually the Torah was given to Musa.
Yeah.
So
but
you would have to
that's
assume
the original Torah, not the
Yeah,
Torah we're
exactly.
talking about now.
We'd have today.
So,
Yeah.
but
Well,
why is
no,
the case-
it was the actual, because Surah 7, Ayah 157 explicitly says the Torah that they have in their hands.
Yeah.
So it was the Torah that Muhammad had.
But also, there are passages in the Quran that speak about the Quran as a muhaymin in Surah Nada, for example, which is a way
criteria.
it's a way of like a quality control, sorting out that which is true in the Torah and that which is false. So there's a mixture. The Quran teaches a mixture of reliable and unreliable things in the Torah.
The Quran also, just very quickly, the Quran also says in Surah Al-Baqarah, one second and then we'll go back.
I want to point to the way the
One
Bible...
second.
No, I want to...
Because you said something and I just want to address that.
I want to talk about the
And that's
Bible for a
fine, and then
second.
we'll go back to that. But just to address what you just
I wanna come
said,
back to the Bible
Surah
for a second.
Al-Baqarah, in
The-
Surah
the-
Ayah
the
85,
Torah,
can I just finish this?
No,
real quick?
I just want to
You
finish
said
my
something,
point.
I just want to address
Yeah, I want to
it.
finish my
And then,
point. The
no,
Torah,
you already finished your point.
is,
You just made your point.
The Torah is
Okay,
not
so you're not going to address
actually- I want to address my point.
Okay, you made a point.
The Torah,
Let me make my point,
is
and then you can go back to
claimed
yours.
to be by Moses. But we now know, if you actually read the Torah closely, it's full of inconsistencies and doublets. These are stories that are told several times.
The same Torah that
contradict
Muhammad
themselves.
affirmed.
So scholars today don't believe that the Torah we have today is actually from the time of Moses. And it's the same with the Gospels. The Gospels are anonymous. We don't know who wrote them.
The Quran
where
is
they
anonymous.
wrote
We don't
them.
know who wrote the surahs of
We're
the
talking
Quran.
about the Quran. We're talking,
Torah, yeah,
before you
that's a
arrived,
fact,
we were talking about the
basically.
Bible.
Yeah, but my point is that you're
No, no, no.
contrasting it with Islam.
Our point.
And now
before
I'm
you
trying to explain to you
Dude,
that that's just
Can I borrow
incorrect.
you a second?
No, wait, what is this? Why are you taking him away?
I'm trying to
Why-
explain something to Cameron.
why are
Before
you
you,
taking
before you
away?
came along, we were talking about the Bible.
Yeah, no,
I
and we
want
started to, and that was absolutely fine.
Will you us lead the conversation rather than you take over and tell us what we're going to be talking about? Will you
We
accept that?
were literally talking about the same thing. We're talking
So coming back
manuscripts.
to the Gospels. Coming back to the Gospels. The Gospels we
see,
have are
he's
not
in-
eyewitnesses.
he only wants to talk about one thing.
Yes, because we were having a discussion long before you arrived.
Yeah, and I mentioned
the
the
Gospels we
contrasting
have
with
are
the
not
Quran,
eyewitness
and you
testimony.
couldn't deal with that.
Christian scholars no longer think they are.
No,
So
there are
how
Christian
do we
scholars that think they
know?
are.
How do we know what? He only wants to bash Islam because he's a fundamentalist Christian, and that, you didn't know.
You're
that
literally
he's well
bashing
known.
Christianity.
So
That's literally what your
Christianity-
conversation is.
Psychologically about the authority.
Were you aware that the Christians no longer believe the Gospels are eyewitness
No, that's not true.
testimonies?
There are
You were
scholars
aware
that
of
don't believe that, but there are many Christians that do believe
Were you aware
that.
that
Who are also scholars.
Christian scholars no longer believe?
No,
that
not
the Gospels are
universally,
eyewitness
no.
testimony?
Show me universally.
Yeah, there is some say that.
Yes, there are some that say it is, and some that say it isn't.
Exactly. Yeah.
Can you name some that say it is?
The
Scholars,
expert.
yeah, main scholars.
Can you say some that say it
It's
is?
interesting why they
Acknowledge
don't,
it.
because the Gospels
say it.
themselves don't claim to be by eyewitnesses. They actually don't say they're by eyewitnesses. They don't even say who they are. They don't say, I am X, and I am from here, and I am writing
Because
this.
it was
or I
evident
knew
to
this.
those who it was
They
written to
never,
that they
don't
were.
even say who they are, or where they were from, or when they were written, and they don't even claim to be eyewitnesses.
No,
Isn't
that
it
is the
extraordinary?
Quran, again.
So we're not talking about the Quran, we're talking about the Bible.
Yeah, but your Quran affirms my scriptures, so
This man has an agenda wanting to...
You have an agenda, my friend. You have an
my
agenda.
agenda is to try and discuss...
you
the
can't
things
stand
not
on
discussing.
you cannot stand on your own.
Objectively, because they understood that there is no actual proof for that, for them to say that, basically.
What do you mean, sorry?
To acknowledge that it's not, that there is no reliable source for the Bible. For the scholars that say
We don't have the original manuscript.
You see, his religion explicitly talks about our scripture, and it affirms it.
I mean, that's basically a fact. You know that some scholars, some Christian scholars acknowledge that.
Do you have a chat?
Anyway, dude,
You have a chat?
Not with you. Thank you
course
very
you
much.
won't.
I've had bad
See,
experience with him.
no, it's because he
Lovely
wants to
talk you,
isolate
mate.
you. That's what he wants to do.
Basically, so it's-
This is
I don't
called
isolate
preying
anyone.
on people who are new to the park. That's what this is. That's what
You've
it
been
is.
in
Psychological
This is what it
game.
is. You could have just had a conversation with us. But see, he wants to portray one thing, and he doesn't want you to hear another perspective. I just want to make sure you had a different
But we
perspective.
were having a discussion way before that. You've been a bit genuine, basically.
No, I was just coming in and having a conversation.
Bro,
Dude, if you chat away from the troublemaker.
I'm a troublemaker. All right, so Quran is like can't do. All right. Wow. Literally ran away. Ran off.
up again.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm not going to talk with you. Do you want to just do a quick wrap up? All right, well, I tried to have a conversation with Paul Williams. He just doesn't want to have anything to do with any knowledgeable Christian at the corner anymore. Anyone who is here, who looks into Christianity, who looks into manuscripts, who looks into the historical nature of Christianity or Islam, he doesn't want to have a conversation with them. He said he wants to isolate people and just repeat his facts that he contrives himself. These are things that are just nonsense to him. He knows full well the Quran is in a much worse position than the Bible is. He knows full well no historian is going to validate the claims of the Quran. But there are historians that will validate claims in the Bible. But he will never tell you this. Instead, he gets people isolated and he wants to talk to them alone. And I think it's disingenuous. I think it's very disingenuous. He doesn't talk to debaters anymore because he's not a debater. Anyway, God bless you all. Have a great day.